Hey Zen Seekers. Today I'd like to talk about the art of journaling. There are so many different ways of journaling and many different ways to journal as there are of journals. As you can see, just part of my journals collection. And journaling can do a lot of things for us. This is part of our being able to feel your feelings study, so it can do that. It actually, when you are the art of writing and putting the pen or pencil down on paper, it opens up the frontal lobe. It can help you process your feelings. That's really a big part of why I decided to do this. But it can also, you can look back at your journals and recognize patterns. And I'm sure that there are patterns in all of these different journals. I often ask clients to journal for many different reasons. One of the big reasons is so they can feel heard. Oftentimes, if they have a depleted throat chakra, it shows that, yeah, they're speaking, but they're not feeling heard. It's just like an outflow, 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 and depleting their throat chakra. So writing it down and having it tangible can actually make you feel like you're being heard. You can learn things quicker as well. That's always when I was in college learning my foreign language songs to sing. I was a voice major. I would learn the languages a lot quicker. There are just so many benefits. It can give you clarity. It can get all of the stuff that's in your head out so you can think clearer about the now, the present. Just so many things. Here are just some of my journals, as I've said, and I am a person that likes to keep separate journals for separate reasons. So I'll just show you some of them. Well, I consider any kind of writing journaling. So this is my card draw journal. I do a weekly card draw for myself. If you've been following me on Facebook, you probably have heard me mention that. You haven't heard me, you've seen me mention that. I do a weekly card draw. I do the draw and then I get intuitive hits that I write down for the week, things to watch for. It's very prescriptive instead of predictive. And then I look into the guidebook and see what jumps out at me, and I write those things down too, and I just put down what is important. So that's what this one's for. This is partially my gratitude journal. I like to write in a gratitude journal, put at least 5 things that I'm grateful about that day. I do it before bed, so it stays in my brain, and I go to sleep with a sense of gratitude. Some of the things we've put up on the wall, I've kind of shoved them in here because those were mostly things of gratitude when we did our gratitude thing in November and December. So that is this one. I don't know if I have anything good that I have. I have a surrender thing in here too. Last year on Valentine's Day, a sweet Valentine's Day, banana bread French toast. These are things I was grateful for. Chocolates and a sweatshirt. A nice sound session that I gave to somebody. And feeling sexy again. I had to be honest and read what I wrote. So there's all kinds of things like that in there. I have a planner, and I kind of count this as a journal because I put little notes in this. This is the Rise group I'm in, so shout out to the Rise people. They've been so helpful in me having this healing business. They are awesome. If you're a woman or any kind of entrepreneur looking for some guidance, this is a great group to be a part of. This is my running and skiing journal. I've been running for 30 year, almost 40 years now. I was in cross country in high school, and runners like statistics, so I keep a running slash skiing journal, and I usually just put down when it was, how far it was. It's pretty benign stuff, but then sometimes I'll say, Ivy jumped for joy because she saw a squirrel, and I put little fun, notable things in there, what the weather was like. I just received this journal from a beloved, beautiful friend and client, and I don't know if you can see, it has the gemstones of the chakras. So that really meant a lot to me that she would think of me, because I do kind of lovingly nag about the journaling when I'm working with clients. It really helps a lot, because what I do, shakes up all of the traumas that have happened to ancestors and in my clients' lives. And it doesn't stop there. You don't just like shake a banana tree, or what would you shake? I don't know. Dates? Is that, I don't know. Anyway, if someone wants to comment on, there are trees where you shake like the stuff out of the tree. I know it's not bananas, but something like that. You don't just shake the fig tree. It's fig tree, and then just walk away. You have to like pick the stuff up and deal with it, and get rid of the stuff you don't need anymore, but take the good stuff. And so this is part of the, not just walking away when it's shook up. You have to deal with the stuff that's being shaken to the surface. And journaling is a really good way to help deal with that. I'm not going to show you all of them. I took this super attractor kind of course thing from Gabrielle Bernstein, and I use this one specifically for when I'm doing things with her. She's big on journaling too. So this is kind of my Gabby Bernstein workshop journal. Now I have to tell you, I never consider myself an expert journal person, but I find myself going to it all the time. I find myself prescribing it all the time for people. And I remembered I started really journaling in 8th grade, and it was a teacher. She had us journal. It was part of our class. And then she would actually respond in the journal. It really formed a big bond with us and that teacher. And then when I journaled after that. And then when I was in college, I actually took a journaling course. It was a course where you journaled, you learned different ways of journaling, and it counted. I went to a Catholic college, and it counted as a religion. And you went for a few weekends, and it was all really mellow. This lovely nun, she was so great, I can't remember her name. And we would sit in a dimly lit room, very relaxed and comfortable, and contemplate things. And we would write in our journals. And sometimes when I look back, I think, wow, I still have some of the same things going on, and I still have the same patterns, but wow, I've grown past this thing. Like, this is just one thing. This is like I guess it was let's look back and see how this workshop worked for you. And this was September 18th, 1992. So I'm not going to say how old I am. My penmanship was so much better back then. I actually cared. The workshop is making me realize how bad things have been for me. I can understand why I am such a temperamental person. Yeah, we didn't talk about being sensitive or anything back then, so I guess that. I feel tired and depressed right now. I have so much on my mind. I have a lot of things at work. I have to do a lot of things for school, my recital, my marathon. I think I was running my second marathon then. I'm not, or my first or second. And the unsettled feeling I have in all of my relationships. Pattern. I'm afraid of having an unsettled feeling I like everything to be drawn out for me ahead of time and then just do it. So like I still liked planning back then. I'm a planner. Well, as you can see, like planning and journaling, journaling and planning. So it's good to go back so you can see what's happening. Have you grown? Have you learned? Are you on the verge of something? So some of the big ways that are really effective for journaling is just what they call a journal dump. It's where you just jot down everything that's going on in your life or all of your feelings, just write it all out, because that clears your brain so you don't have it cluttering things up and you can think of more new things, if that makes sense. And you're feeling heard. There's also a really special kind of writing that I love to do when I want to connect with angels and my higher self, my soul, and it's called automatic writing. And in this writing, I probably have it somewhere in here, you ask your soul or the higher self or angels, maybe it's not in here, you just simply ask angels, higher self, God, whatever you want to say, what would you have me know right now? Or what do you want me to know today? Now write that with your regular dominant writing hand. Then switch hands and just start writing, because your ego is not going to be involved in that. That's going to be your higher self, God, the universe talking to you, and you will be amazed at what you find and what is being told back to you. Give that a try, automatic writing. Another thing that I like to do is have a dream journal by my bedstand. I don't have that, my nightstand, I don't have that here right now, but you know, dreams come and go. Dreams tell us how, what we're working through, emotions, things that might happen. Dreams can tell us a lot. And unless you're writing it down right away before you get out of bed, you're probably not going to remember it. So I highly recommend that my clients have a dream journal by their beds. And here's another trick. I got it from Denise Lynn. If you can't remember a dream when you wake up, but you know you dreamed very recently, just try going from left to right with your head or with your eyes, because that'll help your brain trace it back. I'm telling you, it really works. Try it. I'm not going to talk about all the different kinds of journaling. There's a lot, but I'll tell you about one more. And I have clients do this quite a bit. It's when they're trying to cut cords, or if they have resentments towards people, or if something ended abruptly and they never got to have closure. Write a letter to that person. Write everything you want to say to that person. Maybe someone died and you weren't able to be there with them. I had that happen in my life with my father. Write everything down you want to tell them, even things that you wouldn't really want to say to them in person, but just write it down, everything that you want them to know. And then don't ever send it, and maybe even burn it, rip it up, try and send it out into the ethers, or put it in a special place as a closure. So those are just some helpful hints and tips on journaling if you want to get started, or if you've been journaling. I would love to hear about how you journal. There are so many different ways of doing it. I'd love to see pictures of your journals. Journals are so beautiful and fabulous. I love having the leatherish ones with the trees on them. I'd love to see your journals. I'd love to hear about what different kinds of journals you have, and if you've had any revelations about what you've written down. Have any of your journaling entries giving you, new insights? I would love to hear all about all of the things. So thanks for hanging out with me and Ivy today while we're journaling, and I wish you a namaste.